Alrighty, there's your national stories, and now joining us live in studio, we've got Allison Wilbur again from ZooMontana, and our favorite guest of the week. Alrighty, here we go. So tell us a little bit. Actually, first, I think we need to see your Jeff tattoo. She's got it's not permanent, but with a little bit of warm water. Jeff, of course, had this segment on Montana This Morning Jeff was coming in for like 13 years, once a month. So we're very excited to have you stepping in to fill his shoes. And she's brought temporary Jeff tattoos for everybody on the staff here as well. So we will be sporting those later this week. But tell us again about this guy.
Sure. Yeah. So I want to point out that Wilbur's giving us such a great view of that tongue. He's kind of warming up a little bit. He's very actively sniffing with his tongue. Yes, I said his tongue. It's such an interesting thing that snakes do. You can see that it's bifurcated or forked at the very end. So it comes out, half of it goes to the left, half of it goes to the right, and he actually has the ability to pick up scents on both sides of that tongue, bring it back up into his mouth, into a Jacobson's organ, and it processes all in a fraction of a millisecond, and he can tell if the scent is coming from the left or the right. So, Augusta, I hope you showered today because he will know.
What if oh my gosh, he'd be judging me. He's so cool. He was a little calmer earlier, and now he's a little bit more active, but very, like you said earlier, the question of whether or not they're venomous is something everybody kind of wonders about, but he's very safe.
Yes, and what's really cool about the whole venom and snake thing is that there's two main types of venom that snakes use to eat and capture their prey. One is a hemolytic venom, and one is a paralytic venom. And if you're familiar with Latin terms, the hemo, blood, so the snake will actually the prey will bleed out internally, unfortunately. Okay. And
Rest in peace.
Yeah, right. And then the paralytic, the animal is paralyzed. So a lot of young snakes will use that paralyzing venom because they're just little tiny guys. They can't chase after their prey very quickly, so they're going to paralyze that prey. And the older, bigger snakes, they have all the time in the world, so they're just going to wait out that prey and then eat it when it's done.
Okay, and is he? Is this one? Is he full size? Is this about as big as they get?
He is full size. Wilbur was a local pet surrender. We think he's about 5 years old. There's no way to truly know with our pet surrenders, but he's full size. He's got his thick, nice little neck muscles for tunneling in. You can tell the snake's age based on their size of their girth and the little tail. And they are endangered in some areas as well. So if you're out recreating, the most dangerous thing to them is habitat loss. So just, be careful out there. Don't step on, any plant or do any damage out there.
Stay on trails.
Stay on trails, exactly.
All right, Allison, well, thank you so much. And thanks for bringing in Wilbur.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you. And we'll be back right after this break.
Welcome.
Welcome back to Montana This Morning. The time is 6:47 a.m. on your Wednesday. We've got some health headlines for you. Researchers say they've made progress in a universal vaccine that protects against multiple strains of COVID. Currently, the COVID vaccine needs to be updated often because the virus keeps mutating. But research presented by the American Chemical Society found using new techniques, they could potentially make a vaccine that helps the body create antibodies for multiple COVID strains, as well as the flu and common cold. And a health benefit for pregnant women from an unusual source, chili. A study by the University of Buffalo found pregnant women who ate chili once a month had a 4% lower chance of developing gestational diabetes, which can affect both the mother and baby. This may be because both beans and chili powder are linked to improved blood sugar levels. And a new study on smartphone use by children showed some surprising results. The findings by the University of South Florida found kids ages 11 to 13 who have their own smartphones were less likely to report depression or anxiety, and they spent more time in person with friends. But the study also found social media use by kids can be harmful to their mental health. Those are some of the day's top health stories, and we've got your local headlines right after this. Welcome back to Montana This Morning. There's a live look at that sunrise coming up. It's going to be a beautiful day. Temperatures are rising this Wednesday, 6:51 a.m. Miller will have all the details on that in just a few minutes. But first, let's hit some national headlines. Some processing